Hello everyone, today I'm back with a small tutorial. I made this for a friend of mine who is just getting started. So I thought it would be nice to start with the basics, like the whole beginning, because she probably still needs to get this program. Anyway, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about some things in Clip Studio Paint. It is the program that I'm using. First of all, let's start with the very basics, and it's about the tools. Obviously, the tools are here on your left, and as you can see, I have lots of different kind of pencils that if you install this program in the first time, it's probably not going to be in the package, so you're going to have to download them online, but that's for free. So that will only make things easier. So over here you have the tools like zooming in, zooming out. Obviously, I don't use this tool very often. I usually just go to the right and the upper little scaling thing. You can go zooming in or zooming out, and if you grab the red box here, you can just moving around and on what part of the drawing you're busy at. So that's very easy with details and stuff. And this one, just underneath the zooming, you can see a bar that you can also shift, and it's for tilting the angle, so you can just draw an easier kind of angle, which one you prefer. And if you click this one, the reset rotate, it's easy access to look at your drawing again from a straight angle. Next to the reset rotate, you also have flip horizontal. So if you like have a drawing, you draw like a heart or something, and you want to check if it looks right. And I usually just flip the whole canvas. You press on this little button right here, so you can flip it, and then you can see if everything's right or in proportion. That's the same thing with flip vertical, though that's more when you're drawing bodies. It's a lot more easy to see. But usually I just, for quick access, I just flip horizontally. You can also just draw when it's flipped, so that's a lot easier. So yeah, you got that. That's the zooming. Then you go back to the move and move and rotate. This is usually if you either imported like a little bit of an image, but I'll get back to that later, or if you had like a 3D model. Now the 3D models are kind of I don't use it very often, but it's very handy if you need like manga references or body references. So you just go to this tab right here next to the zooming palette, and you can see that you can import all kinds of 3D things. In this case, I like to import a 3D model. Then you have like this one, you can just drag it in here, and if you wait a little bit, you can see that this is literally just a 3D model. And yeah, you can also use the operation tool with it, so you can bend her however you want to, or turn around. It's really all up to you, but I don't use it that often because I usually use references from images. But you can also make her turn around and make the proportions different, which is pretty cool. So you have loads of different kind of clip art, basically, that you can use. So yeah, this is like a notebook. It's very tiny right now. But so yeah, you can use it if you want to like make a reference for manga or whatever. But right now we're not gonna go into that. That's very it takes a little bit of getting used to, in my opinion. So this is basically what you use it for. The hand and the rotate is usually what I use when I like select something or an image. And if you, with the operation tool, underneath you have object, that's obviously for the 3D things, and then you have select layer, and that is usually that you can just basically square out what layer you want it to be at. So if you see like a dot that you feel like is misplaced and you select it, it comes right at the correct layer at which this dot is at, so you can easily erase it or whatever you want to do with it. Light table, I haven't figured this out quite yet, but I should really get into this. Light table, basically in real life, it's like something so you can trace it. So you can have anything underneath and then you can easily trace it. Then you have move layer. So if you have like a new layer and you draw a heart on it or whatever that is, then you do the move layer and then you can just move it around how you want it. So that's easy if you draw really pretty eyes and maybe you misplaced it and you just want to draw it again. So that's easy. This one is the selection tool, basically. So you can have selection pen or eraser selection, string selection, rectangle. I like to use the lasso because you can just select in what kind of marge you want to draw in. And this one you can also have multiple options with, so you can expand it or rotate your area or cut it if you have actually something drawn on there, but right now I can't because I'm at the base layer. So yeah, it's pretty easy. This is if you want to select something or draw inside that selection. I think this is very easy. Out of selection, it's also basically the same, but it automatically selects it, obviously. I don't use this one too often. I don't know why. I'm sure it's easy. It's just getting used to, I guess. Eyedropper is if you want to select a certain type of color, which you would use later on in your drawing. And you can choose whether you want to obtain a color from the whole drawing or just from that layer. So it's easy to just just see what layer you want to use. Next you have the pen, and my favorite thing for aligning stuff will probably be the mapping pen and the G pen. It's basically the same, it just kind of has a either different texture or a different way of drawing. So you have the calligraphy pen, it's where you write pretty letters with, calligraphy basically. And the G pen, I think, is very easy to make smooth lines for like lining a drawing, basically. And yeah. So you can just try out these pens. My favorite one as well is also the fill pen, because I usually like to color in something very quickly and very like neat and sharp, and that's why I use the fill pen instead of the fill tool, because it doesn't pick up on. It sometimes leaves white pixels, which I don't like. Obviously, a pencil. You have different kind of pencils. You just gotta see which one you like best for some drawings. I only basically use pencil when I'm sketching something. So when I'm like sketching some hair or a face, I like to use Haru's, the second one, because it's just a very nice texture and it's very easy to sketch with, very clear. Then underneath that you have the brush. Now with the brush you have so many different watercolor brushes and texturized brushes. Like for example, I downloaded this mist brush, so it's a pretty cool texture. You can make pretty cool things with it. Running color. Oh, it basically you gotta try out which texture you like best to make your drawing. We also have oil paint. I don't really use that much, and India ink. And then we go to the airbrush. You have different kind of airbrush, and it's kind of the same. It's also very texturized. It's very light, especially the soft one. I use this a lot to highlight. So you get it like that, and it makes a very soft thing, soft line. Then you have this one I like. Sometimes I don't use them very often, but it's the effect decoration kind of sub tool. So this one is photo effect. I downloaded this. I think it's really cool for like backgrounds and stuff. So it automatically makes your drawing a lot cooler and a lot more interesting. But you also have like things to make really cool backgrounds with when you're drawing manga. So you have like stones and stuff, and like clothing, some lace, which is really pretty. You can add really cool things with it. Don't use it very often. I should use it more, I think, because you can get really cool things. Yeah. So that's pretty cool to to have fun with. I used this a lot when I started this program. Obviously the eraser, it's very necessary. I I love the rough eraser because it erases not too soft, not too hard. It's just right in the middle, and eraser line for drawing, which makes it easy to make very crisp lines to correct them. And also the eraser light, which can make really cool effects on your drawing. But that I'll explain that probably later on if I need it more. But right now it's not really necessary. Blur and blend and fingertip. Fingertip basically means just imagine if you were to go over a drawing with your finger and it smudges out. That's basically what it does. And that's really cool. You can blend your drawing and make it real nice and smooth. Here I got all my favorites bunched up in one subtool. Fill tool, it's very cool because you can specify how much you want to close the gap. If there's like a little gap in your line work and you just fill it up, it will automatically just stop at that line. So it won't color the whole thing. So you can refer only to the editing layer or other layers or close and fill. It's basically whatever you like to do. And then you have gradient, which is pretty cool because you can make cool backgrounds with it. You have different colors and different shapes. When you have foreground to transparent, you basically drag it and then it's like boop, and then you have a really cool color in the background. I usually use it for backgrounds. You can also use it for like textures if you want to. Contour line paint. I don't really use this too often. I mean, you can try around with it, but I don't really feel the need to. This one is pretty cool because this is my absolute favorite tool. If I'm like very much wanting to draw a curve, but it's very hard, I usually just use this one, and all you have to do is drag it to the point where you want to make the curve, and then you can just move around your cursor and then tap it one time to make a line or curve. One thing I do want to tell you is don't forget the settings right here because you can change the size of your brush and opacity. Opacity basically means how visible the line is going to be. This anti-aliasing is basically how soft your line is going to be. So if you choose a very hard one, you get a very jagged line. The brush shape, you can use a pencil, an airbrush, or spray, but I also use pen because it's just easy. You can choose to have it as starting and ending. If you do brush size, you know, it will have a starting and ending, just like how higher this is, how thinner the end is gonna be. So right now, if you do like a bigger one, not too big, you can definitely see that it's getting smaller at the end, and that's what you can do with this. If you put this higher, it will be a bit longer. But so yeah, honestly, I liked it at 22, so I'm gonna keep it that way. So you can also make it by fading. It just depends what makes you feel comfortable. And starting and ending, you can choose how long it's gonna be. It all kind of speaks for itself. But don't forget about this because you can just edit your own tools and specify to your liking. Especially with like the pen and the pencil and stuff, you can also choose stabilization. So you can change how stable this thing is going to be. So if you put a very stable line, it will be very smooth. But if it's not so stable, it will be very loose, which is handy, I guess, for coloring, but not very much for line work because it won't make very smooth lines. Obviously, this one is text. You can make a nice text balloon. You can put text in it. Correct line is if you have made a very thick line and you wanted to tone it out a bit, you just kind of go over it and then it will become thinner. You can also remove dust if there's like a drawing you scanned in and there's a lot of like tiny specks on the screen. You can just remove it with that. So yeah, that's kind of the basics of the tools here. You just gotta play around with it a little bit and see what kind of effects it makes, and I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun. Then you go over here, and obviously I already explained the navigator. It's very easy. You zoom in and out, and you turn the canvas. Then you have layers and your history. Your history, you can see what moves you made, and you can select them and delete them if it's too far down the line to just click the undo button. The layers is obviously this is your base layer. You cannot edit this, you cannot draw on this because it's just your paper. You can, however, delete the paper and then you can see all the tiny blocks. The tiny blocks are basically just telling you like, yo, this layer is transparent, there's nothing underneath it. So if you save it as a .png, you will have not only very good quality, but you can only save it as like transparent. And if you save it as .jpeg, it will be less quality, and it will always have a plain background. So either that's white if if it used to be transparent, or any other color you put in. So yeah, if you add layers, you just go over here, and then all I do is add a raster layer, and you can transfer it to the lower layer, which means you can basically copy it on the layer below, and if you merge the layer you can put them together and it will become one. Layer mask I don't use very often. I do use, however, this one, which is clip at layer below, if there's a layer below. So you go like this and it's clipped to layer 1. So that means if you draw a, let's go with a pen, if you draw a heart, and I'm like, I don't really like that color, so you make, or I'm not sure what color you want, you make a new layer, you clip it below. All you do is you take a good color and you fill it up with the new color. If it's not clipped below, all you see is this, but if it's clipped, it will stay exactly between the lines of your previous layer, which is amazing. And if you're satisfied with this color and you're like, yes, I like this color, you can also just click combine to layer and it will be a red heart, which is really good. You can use as many clip layers as you want. It's very easy and it's very handy. I use this one very, very often. Obviously, lastly, you will have like the undo button, redo button, clear all, scale and rotate. You can use rulers up here. And one thing I wanted to show you is how you import an image. All you do is press File, Import, and then you click on Import Image. Then you can go to your references. And the references are gonna be, oh, I'd like to use this one. So it's very tiny right now, but obviously you can make it bigger. Doesn't matter if it's a bad quality, honestly, it's just about the shape. And it will come in a new layer, which is good, because you can just make a layer on top of it, select the previous layer where the image is on, and you can change the opacity. So you want to make it louder so you know exactly what you draw on top of it. Let's delete the heart. Then you can put the layer on top of it. You pick a different color. Let's say you pick black. And then you're like, I really want to reference this hair because I like this hairstyle. So you go make a fill pen, wrong pen. you make a line like so, and then you have a very good practice hairstyle if you want to practice coloring or reference a part of your hairstyle. So let's say you only want to reference the front bit, and then you want to make the other hair not in a ponytail, but you want to make it short, so you go like this, and then you're like, yeah, I'm satisfied. You can always delete the layer below, but I usually choose to just not make it visible. So you click on the little eye right there. So that's how you use references. You can always change the size of the screenshot or the layer if you want to. And that's kind of the basics right now. I hope it's not too much information. I try to keep it a little bit simple, but I know I talk a lot, so I'm sorry. I hope this helped you, and I hope anybody else that uses Clip Studio Paint for the first time has a little bit of a head start. I thought it was very easy to get into, and I hope you enjoy it as well. I'll see you in my next video. I'll probably make more tutorials for my friend because I like doing that, and I think she really needs my help. Bye.